Rick Estrin, thank you for being here with me.
Thank you, Liam.
Fabulous show tonight, and one of the things that kind of stood out was, obviously you're a musician, but you're also a songwriter, and that seems to be a big part of what you do, and as well as that, an entertainer. The show was so watchable. Just wanted to, it could have gone on twice as long for me, and I would have been happy. Is there one of those things, musician, entertainer, songwriter, that you see yourself as first and foremost, or is that all just part of the package?
I think it's all just part of the total package. I mean, I feel like I just get paid for being myself, and all those things are different. They're different parts of me, but they all, they just are integrated, and they just coalesce. Is that the word?
Yeah.
To become. It's just what I do. I mean, I think if I didn't write songs, I think it would have been more difficult to establish myself. But I think because I write songs and I have a particular, I have a knack for that, I think, and a particular voice for writing songs, and maybe that's partly what I mean by I just get paid for being myself, because it's easy. I mean, I'm up on the bandstand and I'm just what I found out is if you're just being yourself, you can't mess it up.
Yeah.
And when I was much younger, I'd see somebody try something and I'd try it, and sometimes you can adapt and incorporate things you see and things you hear, and other times it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So but if you're just yourself, you can't go wrong, and if you're lucky, yourself is entertaining. and if you're not, then that's why there's other jobs.
Has that been trial and error for you then? Have you tried things that haven't been you and haven't worked?
Not too much. Not too much. I think it's been a growth process. As I got more comfortable on the bandstand, I started just trying things, and most of it worked because I was just being myself.
Yeah.
But because I also never tried to do anything that was too radical a departure from what I felt, from where I felt comfortable.
Yeah. I've read a couple of interviews with you online, and in one of them, I think you talked about a Ray Charles album, The Genius Sings the Blues, and there was a song, the name escapes me now, it's like I Believe
in My Soul,
wonderful song, and I think you just talked about how that album was influential, and that song, just the power of it. Could you say
that album? I think I got that for my birthday from my sister. And I was talking about my sister tonight on the bandstand, right? She gave me that album when I was 12. And I had heard some blues and stuff before that because she had Jimmy Reed albums and different records like that. So she gave me that album for my 12th birthday. And I remember listening to it and digging it, and what you read about was she had a boyfriend that was just fascinated by the fact that I was digging this music, because it's kind of adult type music, and there's and he was asking me about different lines in the song. What do you think he means by that? What do you think, because he was just, I think, fascinated by and curious as to what it was about that, and how was I as a young kid interpreting that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So, but that was a great record, man.
Yeah, there's something that music sort of, I don't know. You can all I don't. It's gonna sound so sort of pretentious and high and mighty, but like there's something you can almost sort of feel the energy of music like that. Listening to it, there's something in the air around it, and I don't know how you feel, but I feel whenever I'm writing a song, I kind of want to try and get somewhere near creating some kind of energy, the power of music like that. And I think a lot of your songs have some of that in them, and obviously you've won awards for your songwriting. So is that how conscious is your songwriting? Does it just come out, or are you really crafting it?
No, I craft it. Once in a while it'll just come out, but when it just comes out, it's because I've been giving myself a mental hernia trying to solve up another one, and then something will happen, and I need to I need to force myself to get really just to endure a lot of frustration and exasperation and all that, and with certain songs. And when I do that, and in a concentrated way where I'm not taking breaks too much from it, but I'm just enduring the anxiety of that process, you know. Then sometimes it'll just break through, and it's like it's as if a door opens in my head, and the solution to everything is right there, and then sometimes I'll get a free one out of left field. I'll just get a whole get one that I wasn't thinking about, and it just comes all at once, and so it can work like that. But I mean, for me, most often, editing is 90% of it. You know?
Yeah.
And also too, it's editing to make it concise and economical, and to make it flow in such a way that where it couldn't be any more clear if it didn't rhyme, you know. It's just conversation. That's what I like. That's what I look for. I try to make them conversational.
I think I read that you said something along the lines of that too often when people write a song, they sort of think because it means something to them and it's true and it happened to them that will come across, but right. Actually you can't just expect that, and you have to put the work in, and that really made sense to me, and I thought that was a good way of explaining it.
And that's just, you know, not a recipe for success. You know, you need to try to find something that speaks to people. You know, where people can either be moved, like, wow, he understands how I feel, you know, that type of thing, or else just entertained, you know, just.
Yeah.
So.
How about your harp playing then? Is that instinctive, off the cuff, or do you think that through?
No, it's more instinctive, but I mean, it's not like I have I'm not a guy with a million licks or anything like that, you know. I guess I know a lot of licks just because I've been playing a long time, but it's a feel thing, you know, and it's a tone thing, and for me, you know, it's like shaping notes and saying something, and repeating that, possibly with a slight variation, and turning that around backwards and stuff. You know, that's the stuff that moves me when I hear when I hear it. You know, that's what I wanted to play like that. You know, I wanted to play like and have the same effect as the people that move me. And yeah, and if I could get, you know, affirmation from people like Muddy Waters or Robert Lockwood and people like that, you know, that means more to me than anything. You know, that means more to me than anything. I didn't have a vision for some whole other way to play the harp, you know, and I had good enough instincts to not try that, and I didn't have a need to force that on myself, because I was already me. I know I'm a little different. You know, I have songs. I have a certain personality, and just the harp is a tool for the complete package that I'm presenting. So, and for me, the things that just fascinated me was all the little tiny stuff that makes the biggest differences in playing traditional blues harmonica. You know, there's just little small things, little partial chords that are, you know, maybe so soft that you don't even hear them, but they do something to add to the buoyancy of what you're playing, you know. And I know when I was first playing, and a lot of guys are like this still, when I was first playing, I was trying to learn licks, and I thought, oh, well, yeah, this lick will make sense with if I have a band playing with me, right? But you want to be able to just sound good, and you want to be able to spell it out so that somebody can listen to it and dig it when it's just you playing, you know. And if you listen to people like Little Walter, who was in blues, he was the most linear, melodic guy ever, right? The most inventive, guy with licks from, all over the place. But when you listen to what he's doing, there's all that little textural stuff underneath supporting it to make it be in the pocket, man. He's playing music, he's not playing licks, he's playing music. And yeah, so that's the thing. Or like Rice Miller, I have some recordings of him in Europe where it sounds like he's just in somebody's house or something, at a party or something, and he's just playing by himself, and he just sounds fantastic, he's just, because he's keeping that groove, I read there was some guy that was in Thelonious Monk's band that when they were on tour, he would just kept a notebook and he would write down things that Monk would say, while they were traveling, things that he would say, and he at one point he told, I guess this guy or maybe somebody else, whatever, or he said it's everyone's job to keep time, and he says, and it's your job to make the drummer sound good. So that's, and especially playing, African-based music. It's rhythmic, rhythm is primary to that music.